one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, our next guest does not need an introduction, but I want you all to welcome our wonderful representative, Vernon Jones, to the stage.
Thank you so much. Hello, Georgia. Hello, Muskogee County. Harris County. Hello, America. How y'all doing back there? Are you cold? Hold the line. Hold the line. Listen, I'm honored to be here. This is a special occasion. Let me tell you, all of us are cold. I'm so cold I can hardly talk. But let me tell you, I'm here for Donald J. Trump. I am here for Kelly Loeffler. I am here for David Perdue. I am here with you to hold the line in Georgia. We're going to hold the line. Can you believe Warnock, I call him Warlock, and John Ossoff, can you imagine them being in Washington, embracing socialism, not supporting the police but defunding the police, wanting to raise taxes on all of us? They do not believe in school choice. They want their kids to be trapped, or our kids to be trapped in failing schools that were policies of Democrats. That's un-American. Now, I want y'all to know I happen to be a lifelong Democrat. And I'm a card-carrying NRA member. I believe in protecting the First and the Second Amendment. And I like to stand up for my rights and my lefts. I'm a fighter, just like you. Just so happen, in case you ain't noticed, I'm black. But my blood runs just like your blood runs, and it runs red. I'm a red-blooded American just like you are. I'm a patriot just like you are. And that's why we have to hold the line to make sure that we have a balance of power in Washington, and that we send Senator Loeffler and Senator Perdue back to the United States Senate so they can take it to Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and of course you know who, if he makes it. Still haven't been decided yet. The fat lady maybe get to the microphone, but she hadn't started singing yet. The thing I like about Georgia, we're one of the 13 original colonies. We fight in Georgia. We believe in conservative values, faith-based, hard work, less government. And we want people to represent us in Washington who represent our values. I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me. I cannot support defunding the police officers. I cannot support not supporting traditional families. I cannot support raising taxes and keeping people on government welfare. People want jobs. They want to create businesses. They want to expand their businesses. That's why I like Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump had this economy on steroids prior to this pandemic. You heard what I said, pandemic. Isn't it amazing? All of a sudden, right after the election, here comes the vaccination. You can't tell me it wasn't around before this election. They have done everything they could, from the deep state to the Congress to the liberal media, to destroy this country. The liberal media, Donald Trump called him on the carpet. When he went to Washington, he didn't change Washington. No, he changed Washington. Washington didn't change him. But he turned the media on his head with fake news. Not only do we have fake news now we have them hiding the news. You know damn well they knew about the investigation going on with Hunter Biden and his laptop. CNN after the election, breaking news. Hunter Biden is under investigation. It's breaking news to CNN because we knew it all along. That's the kind of crap we're dealing with. And when I see Antifa and Black Lives Matter go and attack people for their First Amendment, their right to support a political party or a political ideology, and they are attacked, that's not the American way. When I see them burn down businesses, when I see them take over government property and start to tear down statues, they started out saying, oh, we want to go after all those that are related to the Confederacy. Next thing I know, they're tearing down Teddy Roosevelt. Isn't that something? They're burning churches. Donald Trump was standing in front of that burning church, smoking from the fire with a Bible. The media made more out of him holding the Bible than the church behind him burning. That's a crying shame. I'm calling on you, Georgians, and those from Alabama and surrounding states, because if we don't hold the line in Georgia, so goes Georgia, so goes the United States of America. I don't embrace communism, and I know you don't embrace it. Donald Trump stood up to China. Joe Biden got paid by China. Well, you're going to get me in trouble on here. But what I'm saying to you Americans, what I'm saying to you Georgians, we have to fight. And I know there are some who are, and I am frustrated with the election fraud. Dead people should not be voting. If you don't live in this state, you should not be voting. You should not be counting ballots if you're a voting official and you don't have the poll watchers watching you count the ballots. David Raffensperger and I'm going to get deep. David Raffensperger and Stacey Abrams went in a dark room and they hatched a plan that was nurtured in darkness and ignorance. And that, when they cut that deal in that settlement, nobody in the legislature knew anything about it. It's the legislature, it's our authority to set the election laws, not Stacey Abrams and Raffensperger in a back room somewhere. I made it known that I wanted a special session. I wanted to go back in and do investigation with the whole entire Georgia General Assembly. I made it known. But if they don't do it, come January, you need to hold each and every official accountable and make sure they go not certify what Raffensperger did, but rectify. It needs to be rectified. What they did need to be fixed because people don't have confidence in the fair transparency in our election and certainly the Dominion machines. There shouldn't be any other election use those Dominion machines. There should never be another election with that. People's confidence has been shattered. And those who feel like I shouldn't go back, it doesn't matter, do not take that attitude. That's the attitude of a defeatist. They want to defeat us. Don't let them do that. We cannot let the left run Georgia. We can't. I heard Warnock say that even when it came to abortion, it should be between the people in that room, it should be a doctor, and it should be the patient, and not the government. But he didn't mention that God should be in that room. How are you going to call yourself a pastor and you don't bring God into the conversation? That's what we're dealing with. So you have to go and vote. You have to. You have to call your neighbors. If we don't hold the line in Georgia, it's going to hurt the rest of this country. From Alabama to California to New York to Utah, West Virginia, North Carolina, all across this country. We have to come out and vote. We do not have a choice. I'm frustrated, you're frustrated, but I'm not going to let Stacey Abrams tell us what to do here in Georgia, her and her groups out there who are not fair fighting. They're fighting unfairly. Why am I getting calls? Why am I getting letters from out-of-state organizations telling me, here's your ballot? I didn't ask for a ballot. That's what's happening. But if you go to the polls and vote, and if you have to go in person, somebody said in person, if you can stand out here in this cold, you can go to those polls. Early voting is already started. I need you to go. You need me to go? Or he's telling me he needs me to go. Y'all want me to stay or you want me to go? No. Listen, thank y'all so much. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line.
Yeah.
Columbus, Georgia. We are about 2 hours away from Atlanta, 45 minutes away from our headquarters in Auburn, Alabama, and it is a bone-chilling day here, something that I think neither of us were prepared for. We're excited to be here, though, and I want to give credit where credit is due, and that is to the absolute patriots that are here today on their own accord, just coming out to see Vice President Mike Pence speak today to help rally support for the Georgia Senate candidates, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. Again, it's cold. And I don't want to the only reason I'm reiterating that is because I think it goes to show the level of dedication that these people have to come out and stand hours early and wait for the Vice President to show up. You guys know me, you know that I support Vice President Pence and President Trump with my whole heart, but on a day like this, I would love to be laying in bed with hot tea, watching on Right Side Broadcasting Network. The footage is just as good, but there's something to be said for people coming out. I'm going to pause that thought right now because we have Rep. Vernon Jones, who we absolutely know loves to dance. We've seen it on Right Side Broadcasting before, and we're seeing it again, but this man is just I guess, trying to stay warm the best way he knows how, and that is to move his body. So he is in the crowd interacting with Georgia patriots, and he gave a really good opening speech. If anyone can hype up the crowds for a vice presidential rally, it's Georgia State Representative Vernon Jones. Back to what I was saying earlier, it is so important. We've seen it at countless Trump rallies that the one thing that is going to drive people to go to the polling booths on January 5th or earlier, because early voting has began in the state of Georgia for the Senate race, but that is energy. Energy is what is going to win an election. We've seen it at Trump's rallies. I mean, that is to the utmost extreme, but this is energy as well, especially given these weather factors, specifically those. This is good energy for Vice President Pence, and it's also worth noting this is the first of 2 stops today for the Vice President. This is, again, Columbus, Georgia. He is scheduled to speak at 12 noon here today. We should see Air Force 2 landing probably right behind us, so we're going to get you coverage of that. Stay tuned for that. But he also has a second stop today in Macon, Georgia. So again, Vice President has 2 rally stops in the state of Georgia, the Peach State, here today. And I think Georgia's never seen so much political action before in its life. This is incredible. The Vice President and the President are really fighting hard. They are almost carrying these Senate races on their back. They are putting all hands on deck to guarantee that the Republicans can hold the Senate majority. And this is crucial, like Vernon Jones said in his opening speech, you know, for the future of America and for the future of our democracy and our freedoms here today. Georgia must hold the line and keep the Senate majority. That is why these people are coming out in the freezing cold here today. You can see them, they're kind of, as opposed to social distancing at this point, you just want to stay warm. They're more bundled up together in the groups that they came with. There is a good amount of masks, and also at this point, I think some of us are wearing masks solely because it's helping keep us warm. It's a nice little trick there that I've discovered. But again, we are excited to be here, and we're going to broadcast Vice President Mike Pence's speech in its entirety. Georgia GOP is putting on this event with the Trump campaign, and we want to say thank you to both of those entities, Georgia GOP for having us today for another well-organized event, and the Trump campaign for hosting this vice presidential rally here in my home state, Georgia. All eyes are on Georgia right now, and I want to encourage everyone who's listening to get out and vote. If you hear anyone telling you not to cast your vote, they're stupid. Don't listen to them. You must get out and vote. You don't win a war by giving up. We know that the election has its question marks on it, but I encourage everyone, I mean, I don't have to tell you what's going on. I encourage everyone to not give up yet. This fight's not over, and it's not going to be over for a long time. So get out, exercise your right to vote, be proud as Americans that we can all vote, because not everyone has this civil liberty. So get out and vote. Do it for my home state. Do it for me. Do it for Right Side Broadcasting Network, President Trump, Vice President, and everyone who has worked so hard the past 4 years to guarantee our freedoms here in the United States of America. Again, early voting has began, so if you want to go ahead and take care of that, go and get your vote in. I am probably going to do it while I'm home this week, or on January 5th. January 5th is going to be the conclusion of this Senate race, and it is crucial. Again, not one over the other, not David Perdue or Kelly Loeffler, but it's crucial that we have both of them in the United States Senate representing the Peach State on behalf of Republicans everywhere. So again, I can't tell you anymore, but get out and vote. Do it for Georgia. Without further ado, I want to say thank you to our partner, MyPillow.com. Their CEO is an incredible patriot, Mike Lindell. We've had the honor and pleasure of working with him, and he's been so generous to give 50% of the profits of these sales back to help support Right Side Broadcasting Network. As many of you know who have been with us the past 4 years, we're almost entirely viewer funded, and we've had to beg for donations, and we've had our highs and our lows. It's been difficult sometimes to even stay on air, but we are fighting for y'all because someone has to do it. Still blows my mind that other networks don't cover these events as they should in their entirety. But we're here for you guys. We are fighting for you guys, and we want to say thank you to Mike Lindell for giving us the opportunity to partner with MyPillow. MyPillow.com has hundreds of products to choose from. It's not just pillows. There are blankets, dog beds, super soft towels, bathrobes, you name it. There is so much more. It is the perfect one-stop shop for all your holiday shopping and your Christmas gifts for your friends and family. So please check them out at www.mypillow.com. The best thing here is that we have got a code for you guys for massive savings. You can use that code. It's 4 letters, code RSBN, for up to 66% off your entire purchase at www.mypillow.com. Again, half of all these profits come back and help support us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we are so appreciative of your time, your efforts. Hi! Thank you so much! How are you? So again, code RSBN, mypillow.com. And one last thing, their standard pillows that are normally $69.98 are only $29.98 when you use that code RSBN. So I think this is the perfect Christmas gift to give anyone, whether they're conservatives, they'll absolutely love it, or it's the perfect gag gift for liberals. Just a funny little statement for Christmas morning. Not only are you supporting RSBN and our mission to provide live coverage of these events, but also Mike Lindell, a true patriot himself, who has fought hard to rally support and encouragement for President Trump and the GOP. You can see Rep. Vernon Jones walking around, talking to, honestly, a lot of people. A great event for him to come and network and meet different people from all over the state of Georgia. So it is really cool. It's a much more intimate setting here at the vice presidential rallies. Of course, they are smaller crowds. I don't have to say that. It's obvious. As compared to a presidential rally, the support and momentum for President Trump is unlike anything I've ever seen before, and likely unlike anything we will ever see again. But these events are nonetheless just as special and really something beautiful to be at right around the Christmas time, to spend it with your friends and family. I'm going to jump into the YouTube Super Chat in just a second and answer any questions you may have and give some shout outs to donations that have come through. I do want to say I'm sorry you guys cannot see me. It's kind of a bittersweet moment, but we actually had a reserved White House spot today. So thank you to the White House and the campaign for reserving us an incredible front row spot. We are actually right next to the pool Fox camera. So we are right next to the traveling press pool that gets to ride aboard Air Force Two today. A really cool moment for us. We've worked hard to be up next to these massive networks and hopefully to be in front of them. But right now we are at the very tip of the risers. And while we are getting the absolute best camera spot for you guys, there's nowhere for me to stand. So I am right next to the camera, and I am going to be taking your questions, answering them for you. And make sure to tag me in the YouTube Super Chat at Liz Willis. That's LizWillis in the chat room. Miles, did you get that little cutie? Hi. Absolutely adorable. We've got some children in the audience today. He came up and he wanted to wave to the camera and say hi, Right Side News. Big smile on his face today. So that's what we're here for. It made my day. Suddenly I care a little bit less about the cold weather. All right, hopping into the YouTube Super Chat. Again, my name is Liz Willis. Let me know if you have questions. Happy to answer those for you. You can just tag at LizWillis in the YouTube Super Chat. All right. Becky Ellis said, everyone looks cold. What's the temp? Here in Rochester, New Hampshire, it's -1 wind chill and blizzard. Okay. Becky, I'm going to look up on my weather app really quick for you. But that sounds absolutely insane in New Hampshire. Keep in mind that Georgia, we're just not used to this. We're not bred for this weather, and I think certainly we're not prepared for it. Okay, you're gonna laugh. It's currently 36 degrees. I know that does not sound that cold, but it's chilly. And we are completely out in the open. There's no sunshine. So, just so you guys kind of understand a little bit better, something we like to do is really give you all of the information of what's going on here on the ground. Make it as close as possible to you physically being here at today's rally. So whether it be watching the people file in, what the temperature is, the music going on, the atmosphere, you guys can see a little bit of everything that's happening here as we await for the Vice President of the United States. Again, we are just 13 minutes out from his scheduled speech time. We have a $20 donation from Tori Dukes, who said, "Get her done, Georgia." Absolutely, Tori. Thank you so much for your donation to RSBN and your comment. Absolutely. We have got to do it, Georgia. Don't let me down. Joanne Liu donated $20 as well, so thank you. And Dale Jones said, "Lilith rules." Absolutely, she does. So thank you, everyone, for your donations. We have some questions. Susan Kennedy said, "Please say hi to Magnificent." So Magnificent, if you're watching this, hello. Hopefully you can join me at the next one of these, but I don't think our Florida reporters would enjoy this weather very much either. There are some questions about how you can support us. So apart from MyPillow, again, we are almost entirely viewer funded. There's a number of ways you can help support Right Side Broadcasting Network. The first one, and that's what I'm utilizing right now, is the YouTube Super Chat. It's a lot of fun. If you're watching on other platforms, we encourage that as well, of course. We are open to versatility and expanding our platforms that we're able to stream from. However, YouTube is still, it's like my least favorite, but my favorite, because there's a lot of activity in there, and I love to read the Super Chat. So I'm always reading the Super Chat and your comments. You can click the $sign in the bottom right-hand corner of the YouTube Super Chat to donate. You can donate absolutely any amount. It's very user-friendly, and your name will come up highlighted for me to see and for everyone else to see. So again, a really simple and fun way for you to donate to RSBN. The second way you can donate, we encourage this one as well because we actually get to keep 90% of those proceeds, is by going to our website. You can check out our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, that's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And that'll prompt you through PayPal, so a tried, true, and trusted source. You can use your credit card or debit card to help support us. The third way is the non-electronic form of donations, and you can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. Moderators, thank you for being here today. As always, y'all are absolute rock stars. If you don't mind dropping some of those addresses and links here in the chat rooms to facilitate and make it a little bit easier for our viewers to help support us, we would really appreciate it. Ed in CDA 230 said, "Everyone please vote. We need martial law through the," I'm going to butcher this word, Posse Comitatus Act until a proper election is processed. All elections matter." So thank you very much for your donation. I know I butchered those words. Feel free to harass me in the YouTube Super Chat. I'm looking forward to it. All right, I'm going to hop onto Twitter and see what's going on here, and just make sure we're up to date in all the news. If anything big is happening, it's crazy. Sometimes nowadays I feel like you blink and you automatically miss some massive announcements. It's been a very busy week for the news and for politics in general, so we're glad to be here today. And sorry guys, I'm here, I'm listening to you, but I'm actually reading at the same time about some possibility of Trump enacting an executive order on December 18th. So if you in the chat room know what I'm talking about, message me in the chat. I want to know what your thoughts on that EO are. Also want to say thank you to Pro Rep, who just donated via the YouTube Super Chat. donated $10 to RSBN, so thank you. And another $5 from Janice the Menace. So thank you both, Patriots, for helping support us. Don't forget, if donating financially is not an option right now, we totally get it. 2020 has been rough for everyone. However, it's completely free to like and share and subscribe to our streams and our channels. Please make sure you're following us as well on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us there. Both of those handles are at RSB Network. Again, Instagram and Twitter at RSB Network.
Excuse me.
God Country said, big day tomorrow, folks. Joe Slow said, stop the steal. Where's Hunter? Cynthia Martinez is wishing blessings on everyone. Anna Sensora said, California for Georgia. Absolutely, we love that. And Vinny SOB said, thank you for all you do. We Patriots appreciate it. So thank you, Vinny, as well. And to Eliza Drager for your support. Want to make sure everyone is staying safe and healthy up there. Crypto Insight. So do you accept Bitcoin? RSBN doesn't, but I will. So you can feel free to send me your Bitcoins. I'm just kidding. But on that note, Bitcoin did reach another all-time high today. Yesterday hitting at 22.2. Today, overnight, Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, reached 23,000. So that's just a fun special interest of mine to monitor and watch. And it's really interesting. President Trump actually tweeted some today as well. Let me pull that up about the stock market and the U.S. economy in general. So I'm going to pull those up and read them with you. Some good news overall for the United States, which I know we all want good news right now. All right, President Trump has been active on Twitter today. An hour ago, he started tweeting with, I have nothing to do with the potential prosecution of Hunter Biden or the Biden family. It is just more fake news. Actually, I find it very sad to watch. He then went on to say, I will veto the defense bill, which will make China very unhappy. They love it, must have Section 230 termination, protect our national monuments, and allow for removal of military from far away and very unappreciative lands. Thank you. Good for you, Mr. President. And finally, he said, 1 hour ago, he tweeted, just released data shows many thousands of non-citizens voted in Nevada. They are totally ineligible to vote. All right, I'm gonna have to keep scrolling. All right, it was 2 hours ago that President Trump tweeted and said, all-time stock market high. The vaccine and the vaccine rollout are getting the best of reviews, moving along really well. Get those shots, everyone. Also, stimulus talks looking very good. So that is very good news for the American people. Vaccine rollout under Operation Warp Speed, as well as our stock market. Again, please like and share our stream for the Vice President Pence rally here for Perdue and Loeffler in Columbus, Georgia, the first of 2 stops today. Vice President Pence is working hard to help support the Georgia candidates for the U.S. Senate by having 2.
Yes. I'm trying to see how I get up there.
For having 2. Hey, Vernon, how you doing? I met you in...
Oh, I got in trouble.
All right, I'm hiding down here. All right, sorry, everyone. Jumping back in. Again, Pence will have his second rally today at 2 p.m. in Macon, Georgia. So hopefully you guys will be able to attend that one. It should be a little warmer later in the afternoon. And of course, it's a little bit later of a rally, so I'm expecting it to be a little busier. Fun fact, I've seen a number of Auburn gear in the audience today. Not surprised, considering Auburn breeds smart individuals. We have an Auburn mask right there, which I low-key want. We've seen Auburn sweaters and a number of other gear. I think I'm gonna stand up. I've been crouching to preserve body warmth here. All right, jumping back into the YouTube super chat. Oh, yeah. And we'll have Rep. Vernon Jones here with us shortly, so we're excited to hear what he has to say. A man of a lot of energy. So again, he's just finishing up an interview right next to us. My hair's gonna look crazy, fair warning. All right, it looks like we have David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler walking in right now. Kelly is wearing a red blazer and her beautiful long blonde hair flowing in the wind. She's walked in wearing a mask. She's taking it off now so she can wave, and it really is great to see Kelly. She's gone through some hardships, again losing a campaign member, Harrison Deal, from that tragic loss. She's actually missed out on 2 of these really big rallies that the Vice President has attended here in the state of Georgia, starting in Savannah, Georgia, the day of the accident, and then following that in, where was our last rally? We're both having a brain moment. Where'd we go? I put our cameraman on the spot. It makes me better that he can't remember either. I'm sure you in the chat room know. No, that was Trump. Savannah, Valdosta, Augusta, Georgia. Okay, so Kelly Loeffler was not able to attend that one either, but we are excited. Are we going to be able to pan the camera down a little bit for Vernon, do you know? Are you going to be able to jump up? All right, he's gonna jump up here. Oh wow, just pop that right on off. All right, again, disclaimer for my hair, the wind is wild heel, and now I'm gonna look very short, so if you could just step back down. No, I'm just kidding, I'm kidding, you can stay. All right, so you did a great job with your opening speech here today. Despite the cold weather, you're still very energetic and the crowd seemed to love you. How did it feel being up there opening for the Vice President?
Well, I feel good opening for the American people. Vice President Pence being here, I'm honored to be here with him. And he's here too on behalf of those Americans who feel as though we need to hold the line in Georgia to keep a balance of power in Washington and to re-elect Senator Loeffler and Senator Perdue. And it is important too that we maintain the American values. We are not a country of socialism, which Ossoff and Warnock, they support. We believe in supporting our law enforcement, not defunding them. We believe in school choice. Every child should have a right to education. And these failed Democratic policies that have kept kids, and a lot of them African-American and brown kids, trapped in failing schools do not work anymore. So I'm standing up for those as well.
Well, thank you for being here on behalf of all Americans. The audience seems to absolutely love you, and you've been interacting with them. We saw you dancing out there again. We know you love to dance. We've seen it multiple times on Right Side Broadcasting Network. And I know you've said this before. I asked you, what does the future look like for you? And you said right now you're really focused on this, but do you have any plans any other plans regarding what you want to do?
Well, my immediate plans is to find some heat because it's cold out here. And I'm dancing around trying to stay warm.
That's what I said. I said, I think he's just trying to stay warm.
I'm trying to stay warm. But no, let me tell you honestly, my future depends on what happens in this upcoming runoff. What I mean, my future is tied up with America's future of protecting the American values and having people in place in Washington that represent all Americans, not just one party. And so as far as any future aspirations for me, that's not where my head is right now. You know what? The only thing I thought about was getting into journalism.
All right. Well, I think we can find a spot for you here, but I might not have a job at that point.
No, I just want to get through this election and work. I do plan to work with various states across this country on free, fair, and transparent elections and the election process and what the state laws are and how to deal with the biggest abusive area, and I would say which is mail-in ballots. How do we address that? How do we do signature verifications? Or what other type of methods we can use to ensure a free, fair, and transparent election? That's what my calling is right now.
And what do you think about the current state of what's going on with signature matching, the Secretary of State kind of withholding on enforcing that here in the state of Georgia?
It's a disarray. This Secretary of State went and closed doors with Stacey Abrams, and they cut a deal that was not good for Georgians. And that's why we're seeing a lot of this happen right now. And what he should have done is what the state law requires, is that only or our Constitution, I should say, is the legislature that determines what our election laws are, not some backroom deals with Stacey Abrams and our Secretary of State. And that's what has happened. That's what created this nightmare. So we're going to be fighting. I hope to see in this upcoming legislative session, and I believe it will happen, that they are going to address this issue, and it's long overdue.
And finally, there's been kind of controversy on different, I guess, social media platforms. People are saying, why should I bother getting out and vote if it's not going to be counted? Something I've been encouraging a lot of our viewers to do is just to get out and vote. Don't give up fighting yet. But if you were to be able to help me send a message to our viewers, thousands watching at home, to encourage them to have faith in the electoral system, to get out and vote, what would you say?
I would say, first and foremost, too many people died for our rights and freedoms to vote. Secondly, we don't want to be like Venezuela. And we have to send a strong message to our elected officials. We're not going to be like Venezuela. And that in America, it's about the American people, for the people, by the people, and of the people, and not for backroom deals and backroom politicians. And so I want to encourage them. I know they're frustrated. We all are frustrated. But it's like medicine. It tastes bad going down, but it'll make you feel better later. Get in this game. Let's fight. Go get in some good trouble. That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you. You've also always been super accessible to us and really just all of the press interacting with everyone. So you're a friendly sight to see at these events, and we're very appreciative of you being here and speaking to us.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it, and always like be a part of the right side.
Thank you. Rep. Vernon Jones, everybody. So, all right, go get some warmth. I'll be jealous. I'm gonna pause it for a second. All right, we're gonna pause the audio for a minute.
for helping us defend the majority.
Ladies and gentlemen, Air Force Two has landed here in Columbus, Georgia to help defend the majority. I absolutely love it. I get such a thrill of just pure adrenaline when I hear that. They've been saying this at these Georgia rallies. When Air Force One is calling the control towers to make sure it's clear for a landing. And it sounds so official to hear that. And just really cool. And that's exactly what the Vice President has been doing here, as if he needs anything else, on his plate. But he's been working so hard to help defend the majority for the United States Senate, not just for the state of Georgia, but for the country as a whole, and the importance of having a Republican majority in the Senate when it comes to passing legislation and, on the contrary, blocking legislation from being able to pass if we have crazy people in the White House. We will see. But regardless of the outcome of the presidential election, we have full control right now also of the future of the United States Senate. I'm asking everyone in the state of Georgia to get out and vote. Whether you're left or right or middle, please watch today's speech. Don't go anywhere. Vice President Pence is going to be taking the stage soon. He'll be warming up the crowd. He'll be joined by Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue here today. They are the two candidates running for the United States Senate. And this is not just a typical Senate race. This is not just a state election. But again, this is huge. All eyes are on Georgia. As a registered Georgia voter, my entire life, a Georgia girl, I absolutely love this state with my entire being. It has the best of all worlds: beaches, lakes, rivers, forests, mountains. It's an incredible state, and I hope that everyone appreciates it as much as I do, and that we know that Georgia can lead the United States to a better future for the entire country, and the power is in our hands right now. So please, I encourage everyone, don't give up. Don't hold back from going to the voting booths. Again, you don't win a war by giving up. So let's continue fighting. Let's give it all we got. Like Rep. Vernon Jones said earlier, people have died for the right to vote, and to just sit back and think that yours doesn't matter, it's too early for that, y'all. We're not giving up. President Trump hasn't given up on us. They are fighting every day. His legal team is fighting every day in the court of law to make sure that our votes are counted in their entirety. For 100% of our votes go exactly where they're supposed to be. And we cannot just give up, sit by, and let our country turn into Venezuela or other socialist countries. Again, way too soon for that nonsense. So while I have your attention, if you know someone who lives in Georgia, if you have friends in Georgia, if you're from Georgia, text them, call them, make sure they plan on getting out to vote. You can see Air Force Two right now taxiing up the runway. We're fidgeting with the camera a little bit, so pardon anything you might see on that. We actually have a new camera system we're trying out today, and we're trying to make sure that we get the best views possible. We're actually taking it off the tripod as we speak so that we can get even better shots of Air Force Two. What an absolute beauty. I think our next goal should be to be able to ride on Air Force Two. So White House campaign, if you're watching, you probably are. We love you guys, but if you'd like RSBN to cover that Macon rally, you just shoot me an email or a text. We will hop on Air Force Two and join Vice President Mike Pence and cover that rally. Not kidding, but anyways, very cool. They've got the music going in the background. You can always count on knowing when Air Force Two is going to pull up because they start playing different music. It's very cool. Something to be a part of. So it's currently 12:13, and again, you are watching Air Force Two as opposed to Air Force One, because this is the Vice President, not the President, roll down or taxi down the runway here in Columbus, Georgia. We are live with Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we're going to bring you his rally in its entirety. And we're honored to be a part of it. We want to say thank you to our partners over at MyPillow. www.mypillow.com have been incredible partners to us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. The CEO of that company is absolutely incredible. He's a wonderful friend of ours, and we are thrilled to be able to work with him and partner with him to bring you these rallies. He's fought hard for President Trump, and we're trying to work just as hard to help support President Trump, Vice President Pence, and to cover these events. So please check out their products. They have over 100 different products to choose from, not just pillows. They have bathrobes, towels, mattress toppers, dog beds, a personal favorite of mine. You guys know I love my sweet dogs. But the best part is that he has given us a huge discount savings code. That's code RSBN. Again, code RSBN for up to 66% off their entire website. With Christmas, that's right, I said it, Christmas right around the corner. We're not afraid to say that here at RSBN, but it's right around the corner. This is the perfect chance to make sure that you get all of your holiday shopping done. It's a one-stop shop. So check them out and use code RSBN for up to 66% off your entire purchase at www.mypillow.com. Special deal is that they're $69.98. The price of their normal standard pillow with code RSBN is only $29.98. So huge savings, the perfect gift for conservatives, or just a funny gift to give to the liberal that you have to deal with in your family on Christmas. So again, thank you to MyPillow.com for making it possible for us to be here, and to everyone who has donated to help support us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Aside from MyPillow, we're almost entirely viewer funded, so we do rely on your donations to get us all over the country. It's incredible. We have teams constantly dispersed all over the country. We currently have teams in DC and Georgia. I guess that's it for right now, but we are ready at any given second to deploy more teams, whether it be to legal hearings, rallies, presidential events, vice presidential events. Mainstream media is not doing their job. We've been watching Fox viewership numbers just absolutely decline. They are failing, as President Trump calls them, failing Fox News. Sad. But we are more than happy to take your viewers, and we're going to continue to do what we do best, and that's to point the camera and stream. You guys can watch these events in their entirety and figure out for yourself what you want to do. Now, I'm telling you guys to vote, and I guess, yeah, you know who I'm voting for. But whether you're left or right, I encourage everyone to watch this and to make up their own mind. Just be an informed voter and an informed citizen. And the only way to do that is to watch what's actually happening and what's going on in this country, not just getting the tidbits that the mainstream media or the fake news, as many people like to call it, want you to see. She's so pretty. We've got Air Force 2 right now pulling up, and it looks like she's probably going to come to a complete stop here in just a second. So we've got the staircases as well that are going to be pulled out. I want to say maybe about 50 yards away right now, maybe less. So they're gonna pull those up, drive them straight up to the doors on Air Force 2. You will see the back door open, which is pretty much customary. The back door will open first. The Air Force 2 travel pool will quickly get off that and run to their spots here on the risers. And then that will be followed by the Vice President stepping off Air Force 2 on the door on the left, the front door of the plane. And so we should be seeing him make his appearance here very shortly. We already have the Vice Presidential seal on the podium here, which means that we are ready for him to speak, and he's in close proximity, as you guys can see. Again, a chilly day here, but thank you to everyone who's tuned in to view us. I'm going to try to get in on my phone really quick. Pulling up the YouTube super chat. Let's see how many people we have watching. Hopefully it's 5,000. exactly 5,000. So not bad, you guys. Let's get that number up, up, up. We want to see more viewership. Please make sure to like and share this stream. You can copy and paste the link on your own Twitter and Facebook, whatever it may be. We do appreciate your support. Again, my name is Liz Willis. That's LIZWILLIS. There's no fast forwarding right now, unfortunately. We are completely live, so we are just waiting for the Vice President to disembark. I'm going to pause it right now and let you guys just focus on Air Force 2 while we wait for the Vice President to make his appearance. But I'm going to turn my audio off so you guys can just watch and see.
Merry Christmas, Columbus! I'm telling you, there's some real patriots out here this morning. Thank you for a warm Columbus welcome. It's great to be back in Columbus, home of Fort Benning. Absolutely, and we're delighted to be here Look over here with Air Force Two. That's how important it is. That's why we're here today. And I want to thank Commissioner Gary Black this week. And he tells a great historic story that many of us need to be reminded of. Remember when Ben Franklin was asked in forming the government, Mr. Franklin, have we formed a monarchy or republic? You know what his answer was? A republic if we can keep it. You're the if that can keep it. You're going to be the firewall to keep this republic intact. So that's what's at stake. We don't need a one-party government. We need a republic there, and these 2 seats are what it takes to hold that. I'm delighted to be here to introduce someone I know very, very well. David and I are first cousins. Our fathers were brothers. We've known one another all of our life. And what I'll tell you here, I would be here today even if we weren't related, because we want United States senators who will go to D.C. and keep their Georgia values in D.C., not have Washington, D.C. values. That's what David Perdue has done. That's what he'll continue to do to represent you and Georgia values and Fort Benning and the Armed Services Committee and all the things that are so important to this region and to our state. These 2 fighters here, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, Georgia needs them, America needs them, our republic needs them. Help me welcome my cousin, David Perdue, United States Senator.
Georgia afternoon. Thank you. Listen, Sonny said it best. We're the last line of defense. The eyes of America are on us, and we're not going to let them down. With your help, we're going to win Georgia and save America. There are a couple of reasons why we have to do this. One is we have to hold the line against this radical socialist agenda the Democrats are trying to perpetrate on our beloved America. The second reason is that we have to hold the line to make sure that what we've accomplished under Donald Trump and Mike Pence, that we hold on to what we've accomplished. The regulatory work, the tax work, the energy work. We're energy independent for the first time in our history. But let me remind you, the Democrats have told us what they want. They said if they get these 2 seats, Schumer came down here and said, yeah, we're going to take Georgia and what? Change America. Well, I got a message for Chuck Schumer. I'm a Georgian. We ain't ready to give him Georgia, right? AOC said we have to have these 2 seats because we don't want to negotiate. We want the Green New Deal without compromise. We're not going to let that happen either, are we? I won't give you all the reasons why we cannot let this happen, but I will tell you this. If we hold the line now, we can set the stage for future generations. We don't have to worry about this. We can listen to what people have already told us. No less than Ronald Reagan said to us, freedom is never more than 1 generation away from extinction. We don't pass it down in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and passed on. Or one day, in our sunset years, we'll be telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in America when women and men were free. Guys, that ain't going to happen. The line stops here because of you. We know, history tells us, the price of socialism is freedom. With your help, we're going to win Georgia, save America, and make darn sure the road to socialism never runs through the state of Georgia. Thank you. Now, it's my high honor, guys, to introduce somebody to you today I am proud to be running with. Kelly Loeffler is the real deal. She's a 4th-generation farm girl, y'all. We know what that's like in Georgia. She's a self-made person. She's a business person. And this is the thing I like the best. She's an outsider, y'all. That sound familiar? God bless y'all. Help me welcome the next United States Senator, Kelly Loeffler.
I have one question. Thank you so much. I have one question. Are you ready to show America Georgia is a red state? Yes! All right, we're ready. All right, you know what's at stake? You just heard from my good friend David Perdue what's on the line here. It's the future of the country. As I talk to people across the country every day, they say, Kelly, please tell me that Georgia is going to hold the line. We're going to hold the line. Thank you, Georgia. That's right. You know, and I like it. I like it. Okay, so we know we're the firewall to socialism. David's opponent is a trust fund socialist. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock, is a Marxist. If we don't win, that's right. We will see the first Marxist elected to Senate if we don't win these races. So we are going to hold the line here in Georgia. Everything's at stake. We've got to... I love these guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. All right, so here's what we got to do. It's my job to come up here and remind you how we get this done. I know y'all know, but you're leaders in your communities, and you're going to help us get this vote out. We have to vote early. We have to get to the polls now because it's happening now. This is the 4th day of early voting, and that's how we make our voices heard. If we vote, we will win. If we don't vote, we will lose the country. That's what's at stake. All right, so now it is my distinct honor and we're going to be tracking you. We're going to be checking you to make sure that you voted. Please vote today. Vote, make a plan to vote. Take your family, your friends, your co-workers, people you don't even like. Take them to the polls. Make sure everyone votes. And I could not now be more humbled than to introduce a great patriot, a great fighter for America, someone that led Operation Warp Speed under President Trump's leadership, Vice President Mike Pence.
Georgia! To Senator Kelly Loeffler, Senator David Perdue, your great former governor, Sonny Perdue, State Representative Vernon Jones, RNC National Committee woman Ginger Howard, your great state party GOP chair David Schaefer, my fellow Americans, it is great to be back in the Peach State. Great to be back in the state of Georgia that's going to hold the line for America. Really is good to see so many friends out. Thanks for coming out on this warm and balmy day. You are one hearty bunch, and I see that look of victory in your eyes. good to be with so many friends. And speaking of friends of mine, allow me to bring greetings from another friend of mine. I was talking to him on the phone this morning, told him I was headed to the great state of Georgia, and he wanted me to tell you all that he has been here before. We're going to keep fighting every day to keep the promises that we made to the people of Georgia. I bring greetings from the 45th President of the United States, President Donald Trump. You know, with your support, the President and I received more than 74 million votes across this country. 10 million more than 2016, the greatest share of minority votes in the last 60 years, and we added more than a dozen seats to the United States Congress. And I'm here because I stand with President Donald Trump. And I'm here because we stand with Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting for every legal vote in America. And we're going to keep fighting to hold the line in the United States Senate. We're going to win Georgia, and we're going to save America. It's why I'm here. It's why these great senators and all the supporters like you are out here. And I'm really grateful that you all came out today. I truly am. And to each and every one of you, I'll make you a promise. As our election contest continues in courthouses across the land, we're going to keep fighting until every legal vote is counted. We're going to keep fighting until every illegal vote is thrown out. And we will never stop fighting to make America great again. And that's why President Trump and I need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back in a Republican majority in the United States Senate. Are you with me? You know, we need Georgia to send these two great senators back to Washington because of who they are, because of all that we've accomplished together, and because a Republican Senate majority could be the last line of defense to preserve all that we've done for this country, to revive our economy, and preserve all the God-given liberties we hold dear. It's just going to take two of them. Starting with a fourth generation gal who grew up on a family farm in the heartland. She got here to Georgia just as soon as she heard about it. She built up her own company, broke barriers in business and sports to become one of the most successful businesswomen in Georgia. And in a short period of time, I can tell you firsthand, she has emerged as one of the most courageous conservative voices on Capitol Hill. We need Senator Kelly Loeffler back in the United States Senate. And then there's a son of Macon who literally worked his way up to the very top of the business world. He could have retired and relaxed, but he felt a calling to serve Georgia. Literally, he spent 40 years as one of the most successful business leaders, not just in this state, but in this country. But he stepped forward. And I can tell you firsthand, in his short term in the United States Senate, he's emerged as a man of integrity, a man who's fought every day for the conservative principles that make Georgia great. We need Senator David Perdue back in Washington, D.C. So President Trump and I support your two senators because of who they are, but we also are here just like you are because of all that we did together, serving together in Washington, D.C. I mean, think about it. 4 years ago, we inherited a military that had been hollowed out by reckless budget cuts, an economy struggling to break out of the slowest recovery since the Great Depression. Terrorism was on the rise, and we witnessed a steady assault on our most cherished values. But with the strong support of David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, under the leadership of President Donald Trump, we rebuilt our military. We revived our economy. We secured our border, stood with law enforcement, and fought for life and liberty and the Constitution of the United States of America. I mean, it's incredible progress. I mean, being here in Muskogee County, home to Fort Benning, I couldn't be more proud to report to you. With these senators' strong support, we've restored the arsenal of democracy. President Trump has signed the largest increases in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. We're finally giving our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the support they need. It's true. And none of that would have been possible without the strong support of Senator David Perdue on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Thank you, Senator. And the last administration saw years of scandal at the VA, you remember. Scandal that shocked the conscience of the nation. When President Trump came into office, with the support of your two senators, those days are over. President Trump has actually signed the most sweeping reforms in the VA in 50 years. We fired 5,000 VA employees that weren't giving our veterans the care that they earned, and Veterans Choice is now available for every veteran in America. And from her seat on the Veterans Affairs Committee, Senator Kelly Loeffler was there every step of the way. And after the slowest recovery in some 75 years, with the support of Georgia's senators, this president revived our economy. We cut taxes. We rolled back regulations. We fought for free and fair trade, unleashed American energy, and in our first 3 years, businesses large and small created 7 million good-paying jobs, including 350,000 jobs right here in the Peach State. I mean, with the support of your two senators in our first 3 years, we had a blue-collar boom going. And then the coronavirus struck from China. With the solid foundation that we poured, and with their support every day, we launched the greatest national mobilization since World War II. We reinvented testing. We saw to the distribution of billions of medical supplies to hospitals and nurses. We provided support directly to families and small businesses impacted. It's remarkable to think, after losing 22 million jobs at the height of this pandemic, with that foundation that we poured, we've already seen 12 million Americans go back to work. We're opening up America again. And while the other side said it couldn't be done, with the strong support of your two senators, this week America witnessed the beginning of the end of the coronavirus pandemic. We made history, and the first coronavirus vaccine is being administered in every state in the union. And David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler were there every single day, putting the health of Georgia first. And when it comes to the rule of law and our most cherished liberties, I couldn't be more proud to serve with a president and to stand with two senators who've helped us appoint more than 220 conservatives to our federal courts. And they're all men and women who will uphold the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, like the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. It's amazing to think. None of that would have been possible without the consistent support of Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler. It was Georgia's senators who were there all along the way, when we confirmed more than 200 judges, and when we confirmed 3 justices to the Supreme Court, including Justice Amy Coney Barrett. You know, you remember under the last administration, our values and our freedoms were under regular assault. The last administration trampled the religious liberties of Americans on a regular basis. They compromised the conscience rights of doctors and nurses and religious charities. They even hauled a group of nuns known as the Little Sisters of the Poor into federal court to force them to compromise their faith to live under the mandates of Obamacare. In fact, we saw that religious intolerance 2 years ago when Amy Coney Barrett was up for her first seat on the Court of Appeals. You remember it? The Democrat leader of the Judiciary Committee actually said she was concerned about Amy Coney Barrett's Christian faith. She said, and I quote, "The dogma lives loudly within you." And Hollywood liberals have been attacking Judge Barrett ever since. Well, I got news for the Democrats in Washington and their friends in Hollywood. That dogma lives loudly in me. That dogma lives loudly in you. And the right to live and worship according to the dictates of our faith lives loudly in the Constitution of the United States of America. So for our liberties, for our freedoms, we need Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler back in the Republican majority in the United States Senate. I think you all know the stakes in this election have never been higher. The choice has never been clearer. Where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler stand for a strong national defense, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, they're going to cut our national defense to fund their big government programs. You just watch. Where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler cut taxes, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock want to raise taxes on working families and businesses here in the state of Georgia. And as you may have seen, Raphael Warnock is actually on tape calling members of the U.S. Senate gangsters just for voting to cut taxes on families and businesses in the Peach State. And where David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler support our military, I mean, radical liberal Raphael Warnock alone has demeaned our military. And he's repeatedly defended the anti-Semitic rhetoric of Reverend Jeremiah Wright. In fact, Raphael Warnock called our most cherished ally, the strong democratic Jewish state of Israel, an apartheid state. And he compared their law enforcement to East German stormtroopers. Well, I couldn't be more proud, with the strong support of Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, to serve alongside a president who moved the American embassy to Jerusalem and has stood without apology for the Jewish state of Israel. And where John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock support abortion on demand and taxpayer funding of abortion all the way up to the moment of birth. David Perdue, Kelly Loeffler, President Trump, and Mike Pence will always stand for the right to life. Now, you all know what the stakes are here in Georgia. And Chuck Schumer said it the other day, it couldn't be clearer. He said, now we take Georgia, then we change America. Well, let's send a message to Chuck Schumer and those Washington Democrats. We're going to keep Georgia. We're going to save the Senate, then we're going to save America. You know, I saw Joe Biden was in Atlanta just the other day. He said that we didn't need to send Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue back to Washington, because he said we don't need two senators that are, quote, just going to get in the way. Well, Georgia, that's exactly what we need in the United States Senate. We need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler to get in the way of higher taxes. We need David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler to get in the way of open borders, socialized medicine, a Green New Deal, or packing the courts. Are you with me? We need 2 Georgia senators who will get in the way of the radical agenda of the Democratic Party and fight for Georgia every day. That's why we need Georgia to say no to Ossoff and Warnock and yes to David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler on January 5th. As I came here today with one message. It all comes down to Georgia. So stay in the fight. Stay in the fight for integrity in our elections. Stay in the fight to defend the Republican majority in the Senate. Until the polls close on January 5th, you stay in the fight until we send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. We need to keep America great. That's what's on the line. To preserve the progress that we've made, to protect our values and our liberties. We need you to vote, Georgia. We need you to vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. That's what I came to ask you to do. And tell all your neighbors and friends. Take your opportunities to vote early, vote by mail, or make your plans to be there on January 5th. You know, I'm told you can actually request an absentee ballot today. If you need information, you can just go online, GeorgiaVotingInfo.com, give you everything you need. You can do that till December 31st. And I want you to be confident about your vote, right, David? Our great GOP state chairman and these senators will tell you. You request a ballot, we're on them this time. We're watching. We're going to secure our polls, secure our drop boxes, and you can be confident you mail in that absentee ballot, every single one of them will be counted. So if you don't want to vote by mail, in-person voting has also already started. I checked on my way in. You still got time today. About 2.5 miles down the road, you can go to Columbus Technical College, 928 Manchester Expressway. It's right across from the Walmart and the Pizza Hut. Open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You got all the time in the world. Go and vote today to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. And remember, friends don't let friends vote alone. Bring a family member, bring a neighbor, and vote to hold the line, Georgia. Do it today. Now, I know we've all got doubts about the last election. And that's why we're going to keep right on fighting. But I got to tell you, I hear some people saying down here in Georgia, if you're frustrated about the last election, just don't vote. But my fellow Americans, I'm going to say from my heart, you got to remember, if you don't vote, they win. If you don't vote, there could be nothing to stop Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi from advancing their radical left agenda, cutting the military, raising taxes, trampling on our values. So for all we've done and for all we have yet to do, for our president, for our future, for Georgia and for America, cast another vote for all that President Trump has accomplished. Cast a vote to send David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to Washington, D.C. And I promise you, we will keep fighting. We can fight for our president, and we can fight for more Republicans in the United States Senate at the same time. We've been doing both, and we're going to keep doing both. And we're going to keep making America great again. So here's the deal, Georgia. It might all come down to you. So, Georgia, we need you to step up. And I got a feeling, looking at all you hardy people out here, this looks like a win coming on January 5 to me. I don't know about you. Because I got faith. I got faith. I truly do. You know, in my house, we don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. And so while you get out there every day, and remember, right across from the Walmart and the Pizza Hut, you can go vote today. You get out and vote. You get your neighbors and friends out to vote. You talk to everybody about everything that is on the line, why Georgia needs to hold the line. I'd encourage you, if you're of a mind to bow the head and bend the knee from time to time, now would be a good time to do it. I truly do believe that in this challenging time in the life of our nation, it's never been more important for us to go to that wellspring of strength that has seen our people through much more challenging times even in which we live today. And when you pray, pray with confidence. Claim that ancient verse that if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves and pray and turn, that he'll do like he's always done in the long and storied history of America. He'll hear from heaven and he'll heal this land. This one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So pray for America. Pray, Georgia. It'll matter. And I just know if all of us do all that we need to do between now and January 5th, to vote, to speak up, and to pray, I know we're going to have a great victory on January 5th. When Georgia sends David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler back to a Republican majority in the United States Senate, Georgia will have done more than your part to keep America great. So with confidence in all of you, with confidence in these two great senators, and on behalf of the President of the United States of America, let's go get it done, Georgia. Let's send Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue back to Washington, D.C.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vice President Mike Pence, after one of what I think is personally one of my favorite speeches that he's given yet, instilling a bout of confidence to the people of Georgia to get out and vote, that him and President Trump are doing everything in their power and within the judicial system and the courts to count every legal vote and discredit and to throw out every illegal vote in the United States. Use that to say, please get out and vote, Georgia. The United States, President Trump and Vice President Pence depend on Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue winning their Senate races in order to hold the line, to defend the Senate, and to keep the Republican majority in the United States Senate. We are live with Right Side Broadcasting Network. They are concluding the speech now. Vice President Mike Pence is is on his way. He'll be boarding Air Force Two for a quick flight over to Macon, Georgia, where he will have a 2 p.m. rally there. A very busy day with Vice President Mike Pence doing everything within his power to hold the line. We want to say thank you to our partners over at MyPillow.com. Of course, the CEO over there is Mike Lindell, a true patriot and a dear friend of ours here at RSBN. His website, www.mypillow.com, has hundreds of products to choose from, incredible products, and we know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. With that being said, please check out their products ranging from super soft bath towels, luxurious robes, mattress toppers, and the classic pillows, and so much more over at www.mypillow.com. You can use code RSBN, our 4-letter code, for up to 66% off your entire order. This is absolutely perfect timing for the Christmas season, so you can stock up on all of your gifts for your loved ones and those special ones that you want to spoil this holiday season. Their signature standard pillows that are normally $69.98 are only $29.98, over 50% off with code RSBN. So again, make sure to use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your order. That is how they'll know who sent you, and we'll be able to get credit back as well. So you save money and we get a little, and you help to support a conservative company with a patriot as the CEO. It is a win-win-win situation, so thank you for considering that. Apart from MyPillow, we are almost entirely viewer funded, so we do rely on your donations to stay in business and to travel this great country, broadcasting these events to millions of people worldwide. There's a number of ways you can help support us. The first one being the YouTube Super Chat. It is a very fun place to be. I hang out in there a lot and I get to chat with you guys. We can click that $sign in the bottom right-hand corner while we are live. So right now, donate absolutely any amount. The second way we encourage this, because we get to keep 90% of these proceeds, is by going to our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And the third way is the non-electronic form of donation. You can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. It looks like we had around 7,000 concurrent viewers. Not bad for a vice presidential rally. We want to see those numbers go up, up, and up. So make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube. Make sure you are following us on Twitter and Instagram as well at RSB Network. Like and comment, do everything you possibly can to help support us and to beat that algorithm that is imposed on conservative outlets by big tech. Again, my name is Liz Willis. That's Lizwillis. The honor of a lifetime to be able to cover the President and the Vice President of the United States of America. We are Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I'm signing off. We're gonna see Air Force 2 take off. All right, with that being said, we are going to wrap it up here. It's been a chilly day, and we've got some more work to do. Got some flights to book for my team to make sure they get home safely in time for Christmas. So with that being said, honestly, God bless you guys. We love you, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Liz Willis, Right Side Broadcasting Network.
We're not just any news network. We show the crowd, we show the energy, we show the enthusiasm, we interview people, we show the smiles on everyone's faces as they fill into one of these venues to support their president, to support their values, their beliefs, their flag, their country. We show all of that to you. We bring it right up to you and make it personal, as if you're with us here experiencing it for yourself. This is one of the things that we pride ourselves in doing, is showing you on the ground experience of how people are seeing it and experiencing it for themselves. Just the energy, it's so electric and exciting. People recognize us everywhere we go. We have to stop and take photos. There are thousands of people that come up to us after each event and ask us to keep fighting for them, keep showing the truth. They thank us. They thank us for giving them a voice, because nobody else will give them a voice. Instead, they take who they really are and turn them into something that they're not. They try to say that these are white supremacist gatherings and they're neo-Nazis. They spin all these false narratives, but in reality, there are Filipinos, there are Thai people, they're Chinese, they're Brazilian, they're Cubans, they're Africans, they're Jamaicans, they're Americans. There are people from all over the world, to be honest with you. Everybody supports this president. Everybody supports American ideals of liberty, truth, freedom. We can't thank you enough for supporting us at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We are almost entirely viewer supported. This isn't just our network, it's your network. This is a network for the people. This is a network that's about truth, delivering the truth, showing what's actually happening in the world from the perspective of the average person. We don't take money from big corporations. We don't take money from billionaires and big donors. We are all about the people. We're an independent media corporation. Your donations keep us to support Right Side Broadcasting. Go to our website, go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Send your checks to our physical address or donate via Super Chat during our live streams. God bless you and thank you for supporting Right Side Broadcasting Network.